Hi everybody, I'm Mike McCrory and this is Would You Make It? So I've been looking for a house for a couple of years that would meet the needs of my wife as well as me, and my primary need was that it would have a workshop that was larger than my two-car garage as well as the workshop that I had in the basement. So this is it. This is a structure that's almost 1,200 square feet. It's 50 feet long by 23 feet wide, and I thought it'd be interesting to take a look through. So taking a look at the building from the outside, it's got 5 windows on each side and 2 windows on the front and 2 windows on the back. So that's a total of 14 windows. I'm almost certain that I'm going to replace them because none of them open, and the workshop right now is extremely hot inside. So inside, I don't really have it all set up yet, but it's got a front section where I have my table saw, and temporarily I have my dust collector. I've got some tool storage. It has its own electrical panel with 100 amp service, and it's got a lot of spare capacity, so I'm going to be able to add in enough circuits. Over on the right-hand side is an office. Right now it's got 2 doors, and I'm not really sure why they put 2 doors in here. I'm probably going to seal off the door at the back because it's not even operating very well. And inside, it's a fairly decent space. I'll be able to do a lot of video editing and store lots of other stuff in here. It also has a heating and air conditioning unit, so this room will be fine year-round. It's also insulated. The rest of the workshop is not insulated, so that's going to be one of the things I do fairly soon. And then the back section came with a couple of workbenches, work tables that were left behind by the previous owner. And this is a workbench that I had in the basement at home before. So as you can see, my tools are not that well organized. I've got some horizontal wood storage at the side. I currently have fluorescent lights in the ceiling. I'll probably, at least in the short term, keep those, but I will add in some LED lighting because it's really not enough light in here, especially for videoing. I brought all these shelves from my workshop in the basement of our old house, and I thought they were going to be suitable for here, but I really don't think so. I really need to maximize the amount of storage that I have, especially because I don't have 2 workshops anymore, I just have the one. So I really want to optimize the space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these eventually after I make custom built-in cabinets. I'll probably make them to go right to the top of the window, and then I'll have another set of cabinets that go above the window. That'll be too hard to reach without a ladder, but still I'll be able to store stuff that I use very infrequently up there. It also has a wood stove, which is kind of cute. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. It certainly adds to the cost of insurance, but it is a nice way to burn scrap wood, and it will provide a little bit of heat for the workshop as well. So I'm still undecided about that. One benefit of removing it, apart from reducing the insurance cost, is it creates additional space for me. The previous owner also left behind a sofa, which is kind of nice. I'm not sure I want to keep it in here because of dust accumulation, but I'll leave it in here for now. This is a trolley that I built specifically for moving my tools to the new workshop. My table saw, for example, is about 550 pounds, so with the help of a couple of friends, I was able to hoist it up onto this platform and then wheel it into the truck and then wheel it off the truck. So now it's going to serve as a little mobile platform for moving things around. Right now I have my planer on it, and I'll use it for my planer until I build a permanent stand or permanent cart for my planer. I also really like these casters that I got at Home Depot, so I may purchase a few more sets of these and swap out some of the casters on my other tools. Right now I have all my bar clamps sitting under this workbench. I'll have to come up with some kind of a permanent solution. And then for my other clamps, I have them just hanging here for now. I don't know if that's going to be a permanent solution or if I'm going to find something better, but for right now it seems to meet all my needs. This definitely has a story behind it. According to the former owner, the person that I bought the house from, the owner previous to him had a carpet business or some kind of a rug business, and he was using this building as inventory storage. And there was somebody in the city that did not want him to succeed, so they tried to burn the place down. So this is something that I'll definitely have to fix and replace. And a lot of the wood, I don't know how recently that happened. I tried Googling it, but I didn't find anything in the news. But you can see remnants of pieces of wood that are still stored up there that are burnt. And the flames went all the way to the roof, and you can see that a couple of the boards in the roof had to be replaced. But there's definitely signs that there was a fire here at one time. There's plenty of storage up there, and which I will continue to use as storage. Speaking of heat, it's currently 104.2 degrees in here, and in Celsius that's 40.1, so it's pretty darn hot. And that's one of the reasons I decided to shoot this video right now, is because it's way too hot to work. I'd be dripping all over the wood. So one of the things I want to do is to cut open the roof at the top and install a roof ridge vent cap, and then put shingles over top of that. And that'll help to provide airflow that will evacuate the heat out of the building. With proper ventilation coming from the soffit all the way up to the roof, and then having insulation cover this. So I plan to put Reflectix or attic foil either over top of that or underneath against the roof. I'm not sure what's the best approach yet. So if anybody has any suggestions, and also about the type of insulation, I'm not sure whether I should use rigid foam, fiberglass, or rock wool. I probably don't want to use spray foam just because of the additional cost, although I know that people that do use it don't have any regrets. But if you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below and I'll take that into consideration. Things like this where I have a crack in the exterior siding, I'll just fill with spray foam, and then I'll put on insulation, a vapor barrier, and then I'm going to put drywall over top, I think. Plywood would be nice, but it's probably double the cost, so I'm not sure I want to do that. One of the shortcomings of my workshop until now has been proper dust collection and dust control. My current dust collector is from Harbor Freight, and it has an airflow of about 1,500 cubic feet per minute, which is ample capacity for my drum sander, which is where I want the most dust collection, the most airflow. But it filters only down to 5 microns. So what I plan to do is to build a little room here to hold the dust collector, and it'll be a room that's entirely enclosed with a filter on it to allow the air to flow back into the workshop. And it filters down to 1 micron, and it has an airflow capacity of something like 2,300 cubic feet per minute. So that's going to be even better, and I will put in proper ductwork to go to each of the tools so that I don't have to constantly move the dust collector around and swap it in and out. So that'll make my work a lot more efficient and improve the air quality at the same time. This is the back of the workshop, and one of the nice things about it is it's built on these brick piers, and I'm going to be able to use this space underneath the workshop as wood storage. So if I find some freshly cut trees that I can cut into slabs, this will be a perfect place to let them store and dry out for a couple of years. And it'll be fairly easy to insulate the floor because it's all open and accessible. Not sure how much all that's going to cost me, but I definitely do want to insulate this. So the first upgrade I want to do is replace that mercury vapor light that's outdated and not very energy efficient. So I'm going to replace it with this Stellar Cam. It's a LED light as well as a camera that I can control with my cell phone. So that'll be kind of cool. When I'm at work or away from the house, I can see who's here and I can communicate with them. I didn't have any place to put my tools at the top of the ladder, so this involved many trips up and down the ladder. It was a pretty sweaty job because it was so hot outside. The old fixture was bolted right to the fascia board. And so I've put a new round electrical box. And then it's just a matter of connecting the 3 wires. I'm really excited to try out the camera, but it's going to be a little bit tricky because I don't have internet service at the house yet. So I've asked my daughter to come so that we can set her phone up as an internet hotspot, and then we'll test it out. So now it's nighttime and I've got the app running on my phone, and I've already set up the camera to communicate with the wireless network. And now I'm just going to test out the app. And when I click on the live view, You can see that my daughter's right in front of me, but when I click on the live view, she comes up on the app. And I'm pretty impressed with the performance because we're just using a cell phone hotspot.
Can you wave or something?
This is pretty cool, and I think once I get gigabit service to the house, the performance will be really good. So that's my workshop as it stands right now. I can't wait to get back into the workshop and continue working on some projects that I've already started.